Call 265-1100.
Julia, this whole taking a break thing of yours, it's genius! Bring your car to Budget Brakes and give your budget a break! You get it?
It's not exactly what I had in mind, but...
Visit budgetbrakes.com. Brakes starting at just $100.
Okay, generally on this show we have some lighthearted conversation, help you with some health issues, that kind of thing. But we're going to talk about something a little bit weightier right now, but it's really a very important and critical conversation to have. So I'm very happy to have Kristi Lawson here. She is with the Sexual Assault Victims Advocacy Center, and next to her is Larry Scott. He runs Agoge Combatives. Together they're putting on an event April 27th down in Fort Oglethorpe called My Voice Matters.
Yes.
And it's a walk for survivors of sexual assault.
Yes.
The sad thing, and the reason why this needs to be talked about, is that the numbers of survivors would stagger you, right? And yet I bet if you were to ask those women and men, but those women primarily, if they feel like survivors, I bet they would tell you that every day they're kind of fighting for survival because it's something you never quite get over.
Right.
Is that fair?
Yes, it is. So every 68 seconds, someone is sexually assaulted. And 3 out of 4, or 75% of those assaults go unreported. And that's one thing that our organization works hard at trying to bring awareness to our community about the services that we provide and to victims that are not reporting because we are there to support them, and that's important.
So, Larry, I know within the work you do at Agoge, you've really got to learn kind of how to think like both parties here. You've got to know how to think like primarily women do.
Sure.
So that you can know how to help us know what to not think.
That's right.
And then you also have to think like the predator, if you will. And you said that they're very good at deception.
Yeah, deception, I think the one thing is helping them realize that there are ways of thinking that needs to be changed, ways of looking at certain circumstances, being able to evaluate what somebody may say, or just things as they're put in motion to maybe put up a red flag, like we had talked about, that feeling in the back of your neck when something's not right, something's really not right, but then having the courage to, or help them to develop the courage to be able to make a change and not find themselves in a bad situation, really trying to the best to get them to think differently, have the privilege to think about awareness, perception, and change the outcome due to your choice base.
Okay, so as a parent, nobody wants to really instill a thought of fear in their child that isn't yet there. So this idea of trusting your gut feeling is something that you have to develop. So could you take other scenarios that are not necessarily frightening ones, teach their kids to learn what that looks like to listen to your gut, and then in a difficult time, they've got to have it.
Yeah, definitely, and I really believe this. I think getting them to where they can communicate, I think being able to communicate to somebody about what's going on and not feel shut down or embarrassed, to be able to actually speak to somebody and let them know what's going on with a situation, and making it more visible through communication to where now, even when people think that we have no alternative, then they call, they speak with the ladies, and then they give them a different way of handling what's already maybe getting bad or has already really been bad.
It's a complicated conversation, and because there's so many layers to it, and I know we want to spend our time this morning really getting people out to that walk on the 27th. What is that going to look like, Kristi, and where do we go?
So the walk is on Thursday, April 27th at the Gilbert Stevenson Park in Fort Oglethorpe, and we'll be located behind the pool at the large pavilion, and we'll do a 1-mile walk and a live butterfly release in honor or in memory of a victim or a survivor. And Larry is going to be doing some self-defense presentations. We got several things going on. So we do have a guest speaker from GANESA, and that's the Georgia Network to End Sexual Assault. And they'll be coming and speaking. And we're going to have some food trucks available, ice cream trucks, and still have a good time, but we're there to bring awareness and
Because we have to wrap it up, but it's a difficult conversation to have. It's
Yes.
hard for a victim to admit. It takes a long time sometimes to
Right.
admit. And then it's hard for the family and friends sometimes to know what to do from there.
Yes.
Everybody ends up being affected by it. You did tell me that if people reach out to you, even if they're in that 75% of victims who never reported, maybe don't want to report,
Right.
there are still resources you can help them access.
yes, we're there to provide that support.
Okay. It all starts with knowing there's someone that you can lean on.
Right.
And they want to be that person.
Yes.
So 706-419-8775 is their phone number. It's SAVAcenterga.org online.
Yes.
And then mark your calendars for April 27th to come out there and support. Thanks so much for watching.
Island Cove Outdoor Center is your authorized Triton Boats dealer in this area. Come see the new selection of Triton boats, the industry leader of high-performance bass boats. All